Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be reviewing Insta360's X4. It is their newest 360 action cam and it is our favorite action cam for adventure travel and hiking.
We recently had the X3, but the X4 is actually a massive upgrade and we're going to get into all the reasons why.
Big thanks to Insta360 for sponsoring this video, and make sure to stay tuned until the end because we are going to be going over some of the cons of the X4 and some tips for filming.
So this is the Insta360 X3 and this is the X4. As you can see, the X4 is a little bit bigger, and one of the biggest reasons for that is the battery life. So the X4 can actually shoot 135 minutes of recording time versus the X3 that only had 81 minutes. They also increased the size of the screen, which is really nice because these screens are kind of small. The resolution isn't great, obviously not as good as your laptop's going to be. So when you're going through and seeing if you caught exactly what you want to, nice to have the bigger screen for sure. They've also upgraded the AI chip, making it way faster. We've noticed on the X3 a couple times that it would kind of lag a little bit. Even like turning the camera on and off was kind of a process, but on the new X4, no problems at all.
The next thing that they have upgraded from the X3 is the lens guards. These lens guards actually click on, so you can put them on and you can take them off, which is really nice. Whereas with the X3, they were sticky. So once they were on there, they were
really hard to get off without like doing any damage to the camera, and then you couldn't reuse them.
Yeah, so we never shoot with the lens guards just because it does bring the image quality down just that little bit, and for us obviously that little bit matters to us. If it doesn't matter to you though and you're wanting to protect your lenses and get out and do some cool things, the lens guards are a great option.
Another cool feature that the X4 has is gesture and voice control. So to start and stop recording, you can either do a gesture or just use your voice, so it's completely hands-free.
One of the biggest upgrades for the X4, and the part that we were most excited about, honestly, is the fact that it now shoots 8K 30 frames per second. So in the past with the X3, the video quality was not bad, but when we wanted to use it for YouTube videos and we wanted that 4K shot, we just didn't have it. So it's really, really nice now because any way that you frame the shot, you can have a 4K shot. The quality is a huge upgrade from the X3.
One of our favorite parts about the Insta360 X4 is the invisible selfie stick. We use this all the time. It's 90% of what we use when we choose an accessory to go film. And the reason for that being is because you can catch some really unique and cool perspectives. It is almost limitless, like what you can do with this Insta360. So it's so much fun to get out there and just play around with it. On another note, drones are also getting less and less popular. They're cutting down on restrictions, and flying them can be really disturbing to the people around you. So me and Kaylee have just used the Insta360 way more. You don't disturb anyone, nobody gets upset with you. People come up and are like, oh, like, what's that camera? That's so cool. And it just makes things a lot easier.
Yeah, and you're also following the regulations too. Like in a lot of national parks, every time we go hiking, there's regulations around. You can't fly drones usually. So it's really nice accessory to have for hiking. One of my favorite things about the Insta360 X4 is that you can shoot first and reframe later. So this is super, super helpful for us, especially because when we're filming for reels, we're filming for YouTube videos. You can actually even snap a high quality photo from your videos. So instead of filming on our phone and then the camera and all these different things, we just put the Insta360 up and you can reframe it to vertical, horizontal, really whatever part of the frame that you want.
Yeah. It also makes making transitions that much easier.
Oh, totally. And you can make some super fun transitions while editing. You can spin it all the way around. You can do a lot of crazy things in the app.
The new version can also take a 72 megapixel photo, which is pretty insane. We don't tend to take a lot of photos with the Insta360 because mostly videos, but the quality is quite impressive for being an action camera.
If you don't want to use the 360 mode, it's really nice because you can actually just change the settings to use only one lens, and then you get 4K and 60 frames per second, so you can use it as a traditional action camera. The only time that we've ever really used this is on the chest harness. Obviously, you don't really need to record your chest, you just want to record what's in front of you. Other than that, we always film in 360 just because we like having the option of, you know, getting as much footage as possible. But it is kind of nice that you do have that option. You could use it if you're like talking to the camera.
Another great feature that Insta360 offers is their app.
Here are some of the latest app upgrades. First off, AI Edit now has a better scene recognition and highlight recognition. All you have to do is go into an action-filled clip and select AI. It can now analyze and identify the main theme or activity of a video and recommend customized highlights. For example, in this video of David and I biking, it goes back and forth between the two of us, speeds up a section in the middle, and even adds music. It picks out the highlights of the video based on the relationships between subjects and objects. This is just a starting point. If you want to go in, you can edit each individual clip, and although you can only use this feature on the mobile app at the moment, you can export it in any format you'd like and send it to your computer. The next option is Quick Edit. So here you want to choose your starting frame and hit record. From there, you can use the joystick on the bottom of the screen to create movement on your video. This allows you to create super smooth transitions and get creative with the different perspectives of your shots. And finally, Insta360 has just added a dynamic editing feature to the Pro tab of their mobile app. All you have to do is select a frame that you like, create a keyframe, and click the movement button at the bottom of the screen. It has got a ton of different options for you to choose from. The dynamic element is what gives 360-degree videos a massive edge over regular videos, and now this can be easily achieved with just a few taps.
This past weekend, we actually tried bullet time out for the first time, and guys, we had so much fun with it. This is such a cool accessory. So you spin it around you, and it's slow-mo 360, and there are so many fun ways that you can edit these clips together, but I feel like we just have to show you the footage.
This action camera does 11K time lapse and 8K time shift, which is also really fun. So while you're traveling, you can speed through streets, speed up hiking trails up to mountains. It's a lot of fun to play around with and a really cool feature.
Insta360's Flowstate stabilization is incredible. We are always trying to stabilize our footage. When we're shooting on the go, things just get bumpy, and you do not have to worry about it at all with Insta360. My favorite way to edit this is to select yourself in the post-processing, and it will just keep you in the center of the frame, and everything is super smooth.
If 360-degree cameras aren't enough for you, the X4 also offers a new Megaview. The Megaview minimizes distortion and gives you a more natural look. Another big upgrade that Insta360 did is now the X4 writes in H.265 instead of H.264, which is way better for compression and efficiency. So those memory cards won't get filled up quite so fast, and the quality is way better. After shooting with this camera for 3 months now, we have 3 cons that we think Insta360 could do a little bit better on for their next camera, probably the X5. Number 1 being low light. So these cameras, and honestly every action camera out there, they don't do a great job in low light, but to help counter this, they actually recommend shooting in 5.7K instead of 8K, and the quality does get a little bit better, but you want to watch out for that light and try to film in the best lighting possible.
Another con is that this camera is known to get a little bit hot. So we have actually not experienced this yet. And they do have some fins on there to help disperse the heat. And they've also got a heat grip that's supposed to help so that your fingers don't get hot. But it is something that people do mention that they notice.
Yeah.
Again, we haven't had any issues with it yet.
Typically, you're going to be doing all your filming outside with an action camera, so you don't really have to worry about it. But if you are filming in super hot conditions and you're leaving this maybe out in the sun and there's no wind, I would just be a little bit careful. And last up is the size that it's bigger. It's always nice to have the smallest action camera possible, and they did increase the size because of the battery and the chip and a few other features, but it's nice to compress that as much as possible.
Okay, so some tips after using the Insta360 for over a year. I guess we've been using the X3 and the X4.
The first being, you want to use this front lens instead of the lens with the screen, because this lens does have a little bit of a better quality. Also, be aware of the stitch line, because sometimes the image can show up a little funny if you're getting really close to the camera, but typically it's okay, and you can adjust the stitch line in post-production.
And lastly, there are a lot of different options in the camera and in the app to adjust the colors and the vibrance. We typically shoot just on normal. We do all of our editing for transitions and movement in the app, but we'll usually export it and do the color grading afterwards in Lightroom or Premiere Pro. All right, you guys, so the question you've probably all been waiting for, is the upgrade worth it from the X3 to the X4?
I'm gonna say absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Honestly, just that 8K footage, huge difference, like game changer.
Definitely. If you have any questions about the Insta360 X4, leave them in the comments below. We'd love to know what you guys think about it.
Make sure to like this video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. We would love to have you around for all of our future adventures. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week.
See you in the next one.